الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. فأما بعد, brothers and sisters, I'm walking on Watchhog Road in Somers, Connecticut, and one of my favorite walks. As a matter of fact, when we arrived here in September 2019, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, the 23rd or 24th September. Straight off the plane, I started this walk. I came here, I walked, and I'm not describing for you the route because most of you don't know the route, but for those of you who know that, I went down Watchhog Road to the end, took a left all the way to Pease Road, up Pease Road, all the way to Hall Hill Road at the cemetery, and then back to Hall Hill Road to my brother-in-law's place. And the whole thing was about 8 miles. Didn't realize that, how far it's going to be. And I remember there was a guy who was mowing the sidewalk near his house on the way, and I asked him, how do I get back to where I need to be? He said, oh wow, you are very far away from there. So I said, anyway, I still need to go, so I did. Now this is a little brook that I have passed over many times on these walks. They seem to have done a great job with repairing it and repairing this little bridge here and so on. You can see the brook. Literally, this is the beauty of this place, that the water is literally good enough to drink. It's not very deep. This is maybe about 3 feet deep or so, at least at this point. Has some fish, lots of this aquatic greenery, and very beautiful scenery. I've been on this walk many times. See many things here. I will show you here some signs of wealth as we go forward. There's a guy who owns most of the open land here, and he's recently bought himself a plane, and he's built himself an airport, a whole landing strip with a hangar and everything else. So anyone who's feeling very rich because you have a nice car, well, there are people who are, for them a nice car is not something they even think about. The reason I'm saying that is because this is one of the biggest, most confusing, most confounding, most problematic parts of our life, and which Islam opens the door and unties that or cuts that Gordian knot and frees us from this mental and emotional slavery. And that is the question of sustenance, the question of rizq. Most of us, if not all of us, at some point in time, we are subject to anxiety about our rizq, about our sustenance. Will I get it? Will I not get it? What happens? And then we have to deal with all that is happening on the global scale. Although having said that, people like to talk about how global markets are going up and down, and what, for example, right now the war in the Middle East, or the impending war, this war that just stopped, and we are not sure, is it a ceasefire, is it a complete cessation of hostilities, is it a peace? Be that as it may, how will it affect? What will happen if the Suez Canal is blocked, and so on, so on. A lot of anxiety over this. We spend a lot of anxious hours over this. We spend a lot of time in, frankly, useless conversation, because the people who are talking all this will not be affected one way or the other. Because if even the stock market crashes, the only people who are affected are the people who have stocks. If you don't have any stocks, if you are a mom and pop shop, you're selling something, then somebody is buying those things from you. Or you are a farmer, you are a carpenter, you are a mason, you are a plumber, you are somebody with a trade. This is the beauty that people don't seem to understand. If you have a trade, if you have something that is saleable in terms of your effort, in terms of your knowledge, No market crash can ever touch you. But people don't want to learn that. They think it's infra dig. How can I be a plumber? So don't be a plumber. Starve. That's nicer for you, right? Always be somebody else's slave. It's up to you. I mean, you can free yourself by learning a trade, or you can be a slave all your life. Anyway, that's it. On a side note, here's this hangar. This is where the plane, this man's plane is. You can see the heavy equipment that is around here. He's a tobacco farmer. So what I'll show you is the tobacco barns where they dry leaf tobacco. The kind of tobacco they grow is not what goes into cigarettes. This makes cigar wrappers. So this is the tobacco that is the bulk of the cigar. There's some other tobacco inside, except that most people are not smoking cigar nowadays. So those are the hangers. Those are the tobacco drying sheds. They have slats on the sides, so the slats open, and air flows through, very much like what we used to have to dry rubber, sheet rubber in India. What you're seeing here are the tobacco plants, the broadleaf. And what I'm coming up here with is the cornfield, maize, corn, makai. That is what you think that the tarmac beyond this truck is the landing strip of the plane. So there we have this. Now, why did I talk all of this? I'm saying all this because, as I said, the complication of rizq. Now, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about rizq, and this is where the Gordian knot, as I said, because it's the story of Hercules and how nobody can untie this knot, and he says that the best thing is it Hercules or Achilles? I'm not sure. Anyway, he pulled out his sword and just cuts through it, and the knot is open, obviously, because it's cut. So the Gordian knot that's confounds us, and which is tied up in, is that of this thicker, this worry, this concern about our sustenance. What will happen to me? What will happen to my family? What will happen to this one, that one, the other one, and so on? What will happen to market collapses? What will happen if there is a war? All of this stuff, Islam shows us and tells us the solution. And the solution is that what will happen to you is what your Rabb Jalla Jalaluhu wants to happen to you. No war, no economic upturn or downturn, no market collapse, no market anything can affect you negatively if your Rabb does not want that to happen. And the converse is equally true. None of this stuff, the opposite of that, which is a bull market, stocks going up, wealth coming in, all of this, it will not affect you positively unless your Rabb and my Rabb wants that to happen. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it very clear. Allah said, قُلْ إِنَّ رَبِّي يَبْسُطُ الرِّزْقَ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَقْدِرُ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. He said, Jalla Jalaluhu, say to them that it is my Rabb who enlarges provision or restricts it. But most people don't understand this. Now, this is where we need our religion. So, anyone dying of anxiety about this is nothing to be anxious about. Allah said He will feed us, He will feed us. Now, therefore, what must I do? I'll come to that in a second. Let's first get this thing out of our worry meter. So what will happen? What Allah wishes to happen will happen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the issue of rizq many times in the Quran. Many ayats. And so look it up. I will not go into all the ayats here, but many times. And the message is always the same because there is no contradiction in the Quran. One ayat does not cancel out the other. And so therefore the message is always the same, which is that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is Al-Qawi al-Aziz, who is in control. Right? Inna Allaha huwa al-Razzaqu dhul quwwati al-Mateen. Allah is the one who is the Ar-Razzaq. Not just Raziq. He is Ar-Razzaq. He is the one who provides everything we need. And remember, rizq is not only food. It's every conceivable need. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. All of this rizq. What you receive is rizq. What you give is also rizq. To learn is rizq. To teach is rizq. To earn is rizq. Charity is rizq. Because each of these in turn earns us something. When I'm earning money, I'm earning money. When I'm giving in charity, I'm earning in hasanat, in good deeds. And therefore, that also is rizq. So as we think about that, I want you to think about this and say, my rizq is fixed. Now, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the famous hadith of Ibn Abbas, who said that, he said, I was sitting on the back of the right back of the mount of Rasulullah behind him, and you can imagine the small boy riding behind the Rasul alayhi on his horse or his camel, holding on to his, maybe holding on to a belt or holding on to him on the back. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam tells him, he says, Ya Ghulam, he said, oh boy. And he says to him, if you worship anyone, worship only Allah. When you worship only Allah. And he says, if you ask for rizq, ask only Allah. He says, I'm trying to translate this into English in a way that makes sense. It effectively means protect Allah. Obviously, you can't protect Allah. It means protect your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah will protect you. Right? If you worship Allah, if you worship anyone, worship only Allah. If you ask for help, ask help only from Allah. And then he says that the destiny has been written, the pens have been lifted, the ink is dry. Now, very beautiful hadith, which I request you, read it, think about it, reflect on it. So therefore, what is the worry? Now, the second part to this, which I must mention, is it's not only the worry, it's other thing is the questions that come with regard to how you earn. So the obvious thing is that if my sustenance is fixed and I'm going to get what has been written for me, irrespective of what I do or don't do. That's the meaning of Allah saying, Allah is the one who decides, and He is the one who gives and extends. He gives provision more or less. So therefore, my working, does it have any effect? Short answer, no, it has no effect. Then why should I work? You should work because you've been told to work. You should work because you've been given the choice to work. You work because working is a way in which we earn hasanat, we earn good deeds. Because when a person is engaged in halal rizq, trying to earn halal income, this person is in a state of worship. So he's getting his reward with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he had, for example, take somebody who's in a coma and his rizq is not finished, he will get his coma, his rizq, through the rice tube, through his nose, down his fingers. He's in a coma. But is he getting hasanat for this? Well, he'll get hasanat, he will get, sins will be forgiven because of his illness and so on and so on. But it's not the same as somebody who is engaged in working for a living and who is resisting all haram ways of earning, even though they are available to him like they are available to anybody else. But he's not doing that. He is working and earning halal. Big difference. So the second person is the one who's going to get reward for that. So therefore, what we need to focus on is, how am I earning? not how much am I earning. How much is fixed? How is open? The way I explain this also, I just imagine that there's this huge warehouse, right? Like you have your Costco or Kmart or whatever, big warehouse. And in this warehouse is everything that has been written for you in your life. Animate, inanimate, whatever Allah has written. Money, wealth, of different kinds, power, authority, education, your family, your children, you name it, every single thing that is destined for you is inside this warehouse. And this warehouse has a full glass front, so you can see, you can look through that, you can see everything in there. Read, all of it belongs to you. All of it is yours. All of it is just waiting for you to come and take it. Now, the warehouse has two doors, one on either side. One door has a tag, a label on top which says halal. The other door has a label saying haram. Now, obviously, you can see that no matter which of these two doors you enter, whether you enter through the door which says halal, or you enter through the door which says haram, what you are going to get is exactly the same thing. The contents of the hall, the contents of the warehouse do not change because of the door through which you enter. So now imagine you're standing in front of the door which is marked haram. The door has a automatic opening system. There's a camera. You look up at the camera takes a picture of your retina, and retina recognition, which is unique to you, the door opens. So you're standing there, you looked at the camera clicked, the door opened, and you're about to enter. As you are about to enter, your friend calls out and says, stop. You stop. He says, look, don't enter through this door because it is marked haram. If you enter through this door, everything that you touch, everything you take will become a source of punishment for you. Even though it is yours, even though it belongs to you, you take it in the wrong way and it becomes a source of punishment for you. Turn around, go to the other side. There's a door called halal, which has exactly the same opening system. It will recognize your retina and open for you. And you will get into the warehouse and you have access to all the same things. You got an exemption. And you will also have hasanat. Allah will reward you for using that door. So you say, okay, this makes sense. You turn around. As soon as you turn around, the door shuts. The haram door shuts because the camera is now seeing the back of your head. Then you panic. You say, oh my God, this is shut. Now what do I do? What if the other door, now shaitan is there with you? And shaitan says, look, forget this guy. He's talking rubbish. What if you go there and you find the other door does not open? Then what will you do? What will you do if the other door does not open? Right? You panic and you turn around, the haram door opens again. And you say to your friend, no, hold on a second. I'm going through here. I don't know about the other door. The friend says, look, for God's sake, believe me. Believe me. This is Rasulullah. Earn halal. So you say, I tell you what, you go to the other side, you get that door opened for me, and then I'll come. Tell me, how does the door open? By a retina scan. The retina scan is exclusive to who? To you. If it is looking at somebody else's retina, so what do you say to the guy? Say nothing. Say, all right, I did my best. I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you. You didn't listen. Wallahi, what is to happen will happen. Now, my brothers and sisters, my submission to you. This is life. This is what is happening to us on a daily basis. Shaitan brings for us things to do with rizq, with sustenance, and says that take it like this. Take it like this. Earn through convenience stores. You say, well, I'm selling tobacco, I'm selling cigarettes, I'm selling liquor, alcohol, I'm selling lottery tickets, all of which are haram. How does it work? Shaitan says, don't worry about all that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most forgiving. What can you do? You are living in a haram system. You are living in a country that does not run according to the Sharia, and therefore, in this country, all of this is halal for you. Don't worry. Whose fatwa is it? Shaitan's. Who accepts it? You. Does it make sense? You tell me. You tell me if it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. Right? See these beautiful flowers. These are all wildflowers absolutely by the roadside. And see them, beautiful, beautiful things. SubhanAllah, the khudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a marble and marble. So this is what we do. So similarly, Shaitan tells us, do day trading. Do day trading, right? Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell shares in the day. Don't take possession, just buying and selling. Somebody says, no, this is not permissible in Islam. You are not allowed to sell something you don't possess. So you can buy something, you take possession of it, and you can sell it. And as long as you're buying and selling halal shares, there's no problem with that. You can do that. But if I'm buying and selling within 30 minutes, within 20 minutes, within an hour, and I've not taken possession because there's no way I can take possession in that period of time, then this is not halal. Shaitan says, man, come on, give me a break. This is America. This is the 21st century, right? Forget all this halal, haram, and all this stuff. Doesn't work. All of this is old-fashioned stuff. All of this is stuff which is, went out of fashion decades ago. We are living in a different world. Forget all this. And may Allah have mercy on us. Some of us listen to Shaitan. Day trading. Similarly, futures trading. Right? Futures trading. Which is even more haram, if that can be, if I can use that term. More haram. Futures trading. Something which doesn't even exist in the future. And you're trading that today. You're making money on that today. Islam prohibits that completely and totally without exception. This is the thing which I want to talk to. I want to tell you about. Similarly, take cryptocurrency. Again, cryptocurrency is at best something which is doubtful. It's among the things on which the jury is out. There is no clear decision from the scholars of Islam. Is it halal? Is it haram? The short answer is, we don't know. So what must we do with things we don't know? We must find out. And until we find out, we don't do. The hadith which is considered to be one of three, which completely and totally encapsulate Islam. Everything Islam. Three hadith. And the hadith is, al-halalu bayyin, wal-haramu bayyin, wa baynahuma mushtabihat. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in this hadith, the halal is clear, the haram is clear, and between the two, there are doubtful areas. And in the hadith again, one of the three of the greatest of the hadith, narrated by Hassan ibn Ali, radiyallahu anhuma, the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he said that my grandfather said, leave that which is haram for leave that which is doubtful for that which is not doubtful. Leave that which is doubtful for that in which there is no doubt. So cryptocurrency at best is something in which there is doubt. Now when you are operating with this complete and total certainty and belief that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is my Rizq, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala huwa ar-razzaqu dhul quwwati al-mateen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who provides and nobody else, then why do you need to get into something which is doubtful? Wait until there is a clear opinion on this, then at least you have some grounds. And then of course, if the opinion of the scholars is clear, by all means, please go ahead. But until that time, save yourself. Seriously, I request you, save yourself. Stay away from futures trading. which is completely haram. Stay away from day trading, which is also prohibited and at best highly, highly doubtful. And stay away from cryptocurrency, which is also among the things which are in doubt, and therefore it is something which I certainly do not recommend you to go into. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.